Hello YouTube, one and all. It's the one and only Dane Youssef, and guess what? I've got a red hot little review here for you. I decided I like to review stuff. I write a lot of editorials on, all over the net. On Internet Movie Database, on Yahoo, on every single blog forum that'll let me. Any and all of them. It's a fact. And the thing is, here's something I noticed in particular. I should be doing some more video blogs. I thought they should look more professional, but I wanted to editorialize some of the stuff I used to watch. What have I got for you today? Well, as you can see from the top there, the little caption, the Sweet Valley High television series. Okay, I suppose the built-in fans know this, but let me just say this. Let me just give you a brief introduction. Sweet Valley High was a book series that was originally written by Francine Pascal, which she later gave on to a plethora of ghostwriters, she had an entire stable of them, people who would write the books for her. And what it was about was, it took place in this sort of perfect sunny valley part of California, where there were these two sisters who were twins, ultra popular. One was righteous and one was wicked, the whole Gemini thing, the whole good and evil. Like there was actually good and evil, one person good and halfway and the other was split, right down the center. And basically the whole book was really just a soap opera. She wrote a whole bunch of children's books, but she wanted to make this thing into a television series, but she wanted to write books, so she thought, what about making it an anthology book collection series, which got a lot of little girls to read. The kind of little girls who hate to read. Basically, it was a big soap opera thing. There was Elizabeth, who was studious, straight A, righteous, always the hero. And there was her wicked, evil sister who was, if she was that kind of, I told you it was a soap opera. She was like JR from Dallas. She was striking, but she was shallow, evil, and very expertly manipulative. She manipulated people like pieces on a chessboard. And it made for a lot of really interesting drama. The book sold red hot, the same way that Goosebumps and Fear Street did once upon a time. And you know what else? It sold, honestly, the same way Harry Potter is today. And the Gossip Girls. Before the Gossip Girls, there was Sweet Valley. These things were red hot. My mother, being a librarian, used to say that there were girls who tried to check out as many as possible. They used to let the girls check out one at a time because these things were overly popular, and so they had to pay for them. They were so popular, and it was already a soap opera, a TV series was inevitable. So, in the early 90s, Fox released one. The Power Rangers were so popular, it was done by the same studio, Saban. And I gotta say, it had a hell of an opening theme song. It was kind of like this. The song went a little something like this. That theme does just kind of get to you, doesn't it? It's so breezy and so kind of what the show and the book series was a lot like. It introduced the world really professionally to Brittany and Cynthia Daniel, two twins who kind of specialized in the whole twofer gimmick. They were the Doublemint twins. They did Twix. They did a McDonald's commercial twofer one with Eddie the Echo. Double your pleasure, double your fun. Listen to that song. I'm getting into it. Oh my God, I'm young again. God damn it. This thing is really getting inside me, isn't it? You had to love that opening theme song. It really made you want to basically just live in the town of Sweet Valley, just like the books did, that song. However, the show itself was nowhere near as good. Hell of an opening theme, just like the Prince of Bel-Air had that thing where he remakes Parents Just Don't Understand, but come on, seriously, the show was terrible. And so is this one. So was this. The show went on for 4 years, which I guess is record amount in kids' time, but it was remarkably bad. Look, there's a very good reason that this thing is really, the book series is well remembered, and the TV show is always remembered in passing, in kind of a... This show really was terrible, and I mean fucking awful. How awful? Well, even though it was badly acted early on, they tried to do sort of a sitcom version of the books. As the show went on, it just basically turned into a really, really dumb sitcom. One thing that made the book series work is it had characters in a lot of situations that were large as life. Characters you could believe in, get behind, relate to, situations, and root for. Even when the weirdest soap opera stuff happened, you could get behind these characters, you could believe in them. The show did not have that at all. I think honestly what happened was, if you remember the mid-90s, the show Saved by the Bell was extremely popular. Yeah, seriously. This is what little kids thought high school was going to be like. Boy, were we fucking disappointed when we got there. Good God, this thing is terrible. I just wanted to smack whoever came up with this show. Like, you lied. This is not high school. This is not even... But Sweet Valley High, the TV show, was the same way. It didn't follow the books at all. I mean, it sort of takes them on kind of like a... It sort of like a... Mostly just takes the title and the name and the outline of the characters, but just turns everything into a cartoon. I didn't know what to begin saying was wrong. First of all, it's horribly acted, especially in the first few seasons. It gets better, but the first two seasons are the best. By the third season, what happens is, well, Saved by the Bell was popular, so trying to emulate that. It's kind of like Saved by the Bell meets... Okay, picture the Power Rangers without the actual Power Rangers. You know what I'm talking about? You seen the Power Rangers TV show? You know how before it they'll show like the domestic teen stuff early on in the high school where we see teenagers when they're 20s and 30s, not acting like teens, not talking like teens, not behaving like teens. This is not high school, this is just what they're trying to... Yeah, like that. It's cartoonishly bad. It's painfully bad. This is not sweet. It was nothing like the books. And I know a lot of you may be thinking they should have to follow the books completely. They just have to follow them slavishly. Yeah, we see they kind of do, because when you got something like Sweet Valley, I mean, look, like the Harry Potter movies. People want Harry Potter. Don't go so much outside the box. So, no, it didn't follow the book series at all. But that would be okay if the show were just good on its own. It's not. It just isn't. Period. Early on, okay, the first season is the best. Not a good sign. By the first season, they were kind of following the books, and the acting was terrible. The scripts weren't quite so bad. They kind of whitewashed it a little bit. But there's real chemistry between Cynthia Neal and Ryan Biddle. He would play the beloved Todd Wilkins character for the first two seasons. But everyone, especially like the Lila character, because like Jessica, she was evil, and they had this kind of great rapport. But what happened was, by season 3, Ryan Biddle and the actress who played Lila, her name was Shirley Elliott, they were fired. They were let go from the show. They were fired because they were having an affair. Big thing. Big conflict of interest. They were dating each other, so they were kind of removed. They were replaced by a new actor. The new actor they got to replace Todd, Jeremy Vincent Garrett. He's a good actor, and I like him. I even wrote a blog about him. He's very effective, he's got kind of a je ne sais quoi. But the character is not Todd. He's just not. Not just like the actress that plays Lila is not really Lila. And the thing is, it's not their fault. It's not the new actor's fault. It's just by season 3, that's when they were really trying to turn it into Saved by the Bell. Look, in the books, Jessica was evil, manipulative, vindictive, shallow, superficial. She wasn't stupid. She wasn't a dumb, drooling moron, but that's what they made her by season 3. Really, check it out. They did the same thing with her and Lila and Todd. I know they thought it might make for more jokes, but it doesn't work because that's not what we liked about these characters. They turned everything into almost character of itself, and wouldn't you know, guess what? Francine Pascal herself, she's credited as executive producer. Wouldn't you know it? She really didn't like this show. They really ruined her characters. Only season 1 is available on DVD, because that's as good as it got. But after that, they really went downhill. They were trying to spoon-feed kids morals. Everything was all out of focus, and another little petty quibble to pick at. it's true it was a soap opera, and there was a lot of philandering going on. All the characters did continuously cheat on one another. It's a fact. I mean, no one cheated more than Jessica. Jessica, Lila, Elizabeth, Todd, all the primary characters fooled around at some point. But on the show, Jessica doesn't come up with, especially in the later seasons, Jessica doesn't come up with as many evil, twisted plans. She's just kind of a lazy moron. I guess they were trying to teach kids moral values and all that, and that's what it turns into. It's like they just make Elizabeth the hero, the protagonist. She's always the righteous one, except for when she cheats and fools around. She cheats on Todd repeatedly, and that was in the books too, but Todd himself rarely cheats. I think he cheats twice on the TV show. There's one sequence where after she's fooled around with Devin Whitelaw, that's actually a plot from the books, Todd goes to talk to her about it, but fed up with it, he goes starts fooling around with Renata, played by the always charming Andrea Savage. I kind of like her character, but she really is just an ethnic Brazilian stereotype. But she does bring a lot of fun and spice to the table. Well, there's also a moment in the series where Todd and Jessica accidentally kiss. Todd mistakes Jessica for Elizabeth, which happens, of course, all the time. And, Jessica's not looking, and kind of she kisses Todd, and there's a spark between them. And the funny thing is, not only did Todd and Jessica cheat in the books, they cheated with each other repeatedly. A lot. And that often made the most interesting stuff, watching their back and forth. It's interesting, at the very beginning of the show, Todd and Elizabeth are perfect for each other, just like they were in the books, but by season 3, they turn him into a dumb cartoon, stereotypical moron, just like they do with Lila and Jessica, and Todd's not really right for Jessica. Todd's right for Jessica, not Elizabeth. And I kept waiting for them to kind of find love in each other's arms. That would make more sense. And Enid, they make her cartoonishly dumb. They get rid of Bruce Patman and they bring in Reginald Patman Shred, who's a bad Spicoli ripoff. I guess they figured children would be less discriminating. Dude, the show was canceled by season 4. Not series finale, not just ended with a big hurrah, canceled. And it was canceled because this was not high school. This was not even Sweet Valley. I guess maybe there is something to be said for taste. Afterwards, Cynthia Daniel, who played Elizabeth, she was the first one to point out she was very Jessica herself in real life. More Jessica than Elizabeth. She gave up acting and became a photographer. Well, she wasn't really a great actress, I suppose, anyway. I mean, the whole thing was, they're modelish and they're gorgeous. They had the cute twofer gimmick. She was married to the actor Cole Hauser. You might remember him, Morgan from Good Will Hunting, Too Fast, Too Furious. Elizabeth Daniel has a nice career because she's dating Keenan Ivory Wayans and appearing in a lot of his stuff. I like the actresses, and the thing is, I like a lot of the cast, and this could have been great if they had just followed the books. But they didn't. They didn't just not follow the books, you have to understand. They didn't just do that. Saved by the Bell and Power Rangers were so popular, they tried to rip that off. They just got this thing horribly, horribly wrong. It's not just my opinion. There's a reason that now every episode is available for free online, on YouTube. On this channel, YouTube, right here, you can type in, you Google it, and you can watch it right now. You can watch every episode for free. Why? Well, there's no point in trying to get people to pay for this. No one's going to pay good money for this. No one. The books were something, the show wasn't. Another thing I wanted to get, the actors, people who played the second Todd and Lila, they got a lot of crap because Todd and Lila did kind of suck by season 3 when the show went on, but it wasn't their fault. The show just completely restructured and changed them. Same thing was true of Jessica. They made her this great femme fatale, this powerful feminine evil, this real villainess who really drove the entire book series. And they just made her kind of a moron. They made her slavishly faithful to the boyfriend. She was, I guess they were just trying to emulate Saved by the Bell and spoon-feed kids morals rather than actually make it good. I noticed the fact that not even the book series is available just about anywhere anymore. No, really, go to your local library bookstore, you can't find them. I think Sweet Valley High kind of saw its day in the sun. It's kind of sad. The only people who watch those are really for the nostalgia effect. Really, it is old hat. But you can check it out for free online. I think you'll be in pretty much an agreement. I wrote a bunch of angry comments. It just astonished me. I didn't even remember how bad this thing was. Still remember, the TV show that sucked. Not Sweet Valley itself. The show just simply wasn't Sweet Valley. That's my review. I'm going to do a bit more on the whole Sweet Valley thing. I'm going to do a whole Sweet Valley series of stuff. Okay, I'll talk to you, the rest of you very soon. Check out the rest of my blogs. Bye.